Hey everybody, it's GauntletX, and welcome back to another premiere draft of Streets of New Capenna, the flashback format for the week alongside Cube Draft. Without further ado, let's get into the pack one, pick one. We have an excellent rare here. Evelyn the Covetous is pretty absurd, even if she's the only vampire in your deck, but there are some vampires, mostly in black, in this format to trigger that ability even more and steal even more cards from your opponent's deck. So Evelyn's a fantastic way to start the draft, and this is a three-color format, so Maestro's blue, black, red is the easiest spot to put her, but she's got a pretty flexible mana cost thanks to the hybrid symbols, where if you're playing blue-black or black-red, so Riveteers, black-red-green, or Obscura, blue-black-white, she's also going to fit perfectly well into those archetypes. So pretty happy to start with such a great and kind of flexible rare. For pick two, now just sticking to black, the most flexible color to go with Evelyn, we have a whack for pretty great removal, 4 mana, -4/-4, and white is one of the strongest colors in the format, like straight up, so you're going to be playing against a good amount of white, and when you are, this is insanely efficient removal. That is worth it being a little bit inefficient in other matchups. So pretty happy with whack here. If it weren't in the pack, I like Rooftop Nuisance and more aggressive blue decks. But I also really like Civil Servant. This is one of the best two-color commons in the format. It would be really awkward off of an Evelyn start, because then, two completely different directions. But we could play out the draft where we draft this and then just keep drafting the best card of every pack for a while. And just rolling with what seems most open. End up cutting a bunch of cards. That'd be a fine way to do things. Pick three. This pack kind of sucks. Two uncommons have been taken. There's really just nothing exciting going on at rare or uncommon. I think Citizen's Crowbar is probably the best card here. 2 mana for essentially a 2/2. You get a 1/1 with the crowbar attached to it, but you get to leave behind this equipment to move around later, or you can use the equipment to blow up an artifact or enchantment. So it's like a main deckable naturalize. And Citizen's Crowbar is going to be playable in a deck with Whack and Evelyn, because we could go blue, black, white. We could go Obscura here. But I guess if we're going in that direction, we could also take the Celestial Regulator. Nice flyer that taps something down, another good card towards Obscura. But I'm just going to go for the Crowbar. Pick four. Glamorous Outlaws, great mana fixing for Maestros, blue, black, red. Girder Goons is a very solid black spell, so fits into whatever direction the Evelyn goes. And the Wing Shield Agent towards blue, black, white, or just blue, black in general, is also a pretty good card. Shield counters are pretty annoying. If it's dealt damage at all, you remove the shield counter and prevent all the damage. So if you trump this with a 1/1, you'll get rid of the shield counter. But also, if you have your Wing Shield Agent, you trump like a 10/10, it's going to survive. Just remove the shield counter. Ooh, there's a cleanup crew here too. I like that card a lot. We'd have to go Riveteers, black, red, green with the Evelyn though. Just gonna play it really safe on this pick and take another black spell with the Girder Goons. This is really solid value. The Blitz ability means you can haste it out for 4 mana as a 4/4 and then sack it in your end step and draw a card. So 4 mana to deal 4, make a 2/2, draw a card. It's pretty good. Riveteer's Overlook is solid fixing here for black, red, and green. It's a little bit more colors than Waterfront District, just being blue and black. Yeah, it's one of the lands, almost certainly. I guess there's a swooping protector. It's kind of cute. I take the Overlook here. Pick six. Is Corpse Explosion good? It's gotta be good, right? Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Deal damage equal to the creature's power to each creature and planeswalkers. It's just a full-on board wipe. As long as you have a creature engraved. And Maestro's blue, black, red has a lot of self-mill. So we can go for like a Maestro's control deck. Make sure we self-mill a lot to have a creature engraved to use this as a cheap board wipe. Feels pretty good. But Obscura Charm's also very good. I'm gonna go for the board wipe here. Let's grab a Corpse Explosion. Here's another whack. Corrupt Court Official, also pretty solid. Good with the casualty mechanic where you have to sacrifice a creature to double your spell. Sacking the 1/1 that had a good ETB is pretty perfect. So Maestro's control again, huh? It's a powerful start towards that deck. Here's more red-green fixing. Maybe we can splash into like a fourth color here because these other spells are pretty mediocre. Maestro's Theater is perfect fixing, although the Grizzly Sigil can be nice removal if you're really good at sacrificing things to casualty. So if you have a lot of those little 1/1s that have good abilities. I think I would rather just take really good fixing here. But the Grizzly Sigil, because it only does 1 damage naturally, you do really need the sack fodder for that. It's Mayhem Patrol towards red-black at the core, splash the blue. It's awkward, because you'd rather be blue-black if we want to be controlling, but I don't think the Snoop's very good. This is a really late Civil Servant, but we're on like the completely other end of the aisle from that. Pick 11. Crocodile. Pick 12. Bandits splashes itself in. Then we have just tons of random green fixing. Riveteers, Overlook, Cabaret Courtyard, and Masked Bandits. So if we open up a good splashable green rare, we can just run it. Alright, pack 2, pick 1. We did not open up a good splashable green rare. We have a great black removal spell with Murder, or a double white removal spell on a stick with the Limousine. So 5 mana for a 4/4 vehicle that cruises for 2. And it exiles one of your opponent's creatures as long as it's on the board. That feels really strong. It could be worth dropping red and going Obscura instead, which is blue, black, white. It's double white, so we can't really splash it. I guess we're heading back towards blue, black, white. Pack 2, pick 2. Pack looks pretty bad, but out of the way is solid. Draw a card, bounce a thing. Perfectly fine. This is a reasonable Obscura start. I think we're fine here, even with all the bouncing around we've been doing here. We're still at the start of the second pack. There's still time to make playables. Not on this pack, though. This pack is exclusively Civil Servant, basically. And a Cabaret Charm. Gardener, Jockey are fine filler, but these uncommons are bad. And a lot of these commons. We take the Metamorphosis here in blue. This is a little better than giving it credit for. You do always get to draw the card off of it, so if you ever get to kill a creature with it, it's a really good combat trick. Sky Crier. Going Obscura. That should be pretty good. Get us some life gain, makes it pretty hard to race. I don't know what's open in this draft pod. This is a confusing one. We've got a Corrupt Court Official just sticking to black, which is solid. We've also have Unleash the Inferno here for Riveteers. And I have all that random green fixing. But then I have to play red again. Like, it can't be like Obscura and splash red and green. Alright, we're back to red instead of white. I really just can't splash the Limousine. Theater. Another Cabaret Court. Well, maybe we just go 5-color control on this one. Feels like a really dumb idea, especially because we have like no self-mill to go with the Corpus Explosion and a really low amount of creatures. Corpus Explosion is actually starting to look pretty weak here. Ceremonial Groundbreaker's still here for Citizens? Just courtyard. Some more green fixing. Well, there's the briefcase. That's kind of the 5-color payoff, isn't it? All right, well, here we are. This is my life now. 5-color Evelyn. Outlaw Bandits. I have more cards that need the Outlaw mana. I'm actually heading deeper towards green now. After this briefcase. Big score also helps. 2 treasure tokens. It's also a way to discard a creature card for the corpse explosion. Just bandits. Well, if nothing else, this deck will be goofy. This will be a one-of-a-kind one here. Highly not recommended in this format. There is enough fixing to technically do 5-color stuff, but then all your mana hits tapped, and any stumbling on mana issues can be really punished as well. There's just really good aggressive decks in the set, primarily in brokers, blue, white, and green. Just a lot of good tempo aggro builds there. So this kind of deck is just really not suited well for the format. But the mana is there. Okay. There's the Rogues Gallery. I think I need more good removal, though. More than anything. So I'm going to get a sleep with the fishes here. And hopefully wheel the Rogues Gallery. Could be fun. Jetmir is not actually good if you don't have a wide board. You have to be a deck that can put a lot of creatures onto the board, and we can't really do that. So even though we're like 5-color and we could take any rare mythic, this isn't actually going to be that powerful in our deck in the first place. Now, that said, this pack is pretty weak outside of the Jetmir. So I could still just do it. Rare draft more gems for the collection. More removal, like another whack or a murder here could be good. But I really like that these fix our mana and then they double as our kind of win conditions. Just big, randomly beefy creatures at the top end. Light them up, find cheap removal or some more fixing's fine. I don't have a ton of white fixing right now, just 2 courtyards. Let's take a broker's hideout for more white fixing. Grizzly Sigil. Black-red fixing. Fatal Grudge. Kind of bad in this deck. We're not a good sack deck. We don't have the sack fodder. Newsy looks fine. I think I'm on more mana. Pick 6. I'll take a murder now. Got 4 of these mana fixing creatures I can spit out later. Yeah, I'll take a murder now. Murder is a difficult mana cost for a 5-color deck, double black, but we're gonna have more black spells than anything else. We're already playing the double black Evelyn. I mean, I guess we can probably get blue, black, red easier than we can get double black for Evelyn. But we'll see. There's a light 'em up. Just early removal, which is whatever. We cut these gold hounds. Yes, they do help fix our mana because we can sack them for whatever color we need, but we need the red mana to do that up front, and I want to get a little lower on red, a little deeper into black. So like cut those. Or filler removal. I like Rooftop Nuisance a lot better in more aggressive decks where you get a lot of tempo out of stunning things. There's the Rogues Gallery. Duskwinger's a big finisher, but Rogues Gallery is going to be hilarious. In the end game, just pick up 5 creatures from our grave. I don't think I'm gonna have room for whatever I draft out of this pack. Like maybe an Incriminate. Incriminate is quite bad removal because your opponent chooses the weaker of the two options you choose. Sacks that. Teal Gunbad's fine. But I'm just going to take the tramway station. Max fixing there. There's the Outlaw. And a Sigil with nothing to sack probably gets cut. All the tramway stations. Okay, we have made a 5-color goop pile, so I guess at least we've done that while we're in the format. While we're here, you might as well. But I don't expect much from this deck. Let's just build it the best we can here. We don't really want early white spells, because white's very splashy. We are just on all removal and hopefully board wipe. And Prey. I just don't really want early attackers at all. I'm just going to drop Mayhem Patrols. Straight up, our early plays are light them up to kill their early creatures, hopefully. Metamorphosis at a lower creature count deck is quite bad. That leaves the deck looking like this. 13 black cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pretty good on black sources. 11 red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Really good on red. 7 green cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still pretty good on green. I mean, we're just good on mana. We've got the hookup. One issue is that we can't cast the Limousine without a treasure token or an Adjudicators. I will never have double white out of my lands if I don't put another Plains in here. But we do have Adjudicators. We do have Big Score. We have Courier's Briefcase. That still feels really bold. I'll put another white source in. Over... How's blue looking? Blue's looking pretty bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, blue's quite bad. I guess one of the green sources then. Because I have to have at least one of each basic. Alright. That's the mana base. That's the deck. It is what it is. We're doing the thing. We'll just see what happens as we head into the gameplay. Alright, here we are for game 1. We get a red source from Courtyard. And I have whack and... Or sorry, light them up and out of the way no matter what. Briefcase. Still kind of feel like light 'em up's probably going to be more important because our deck is so slow, so I'm just going to get the red source. Feeder gets the black source, but it doesn't get the green, so that play didn't work out for us. But our opponent has not started doing anything yet, despite being on the play here, so that's good for us. No 2-drop. 2 toughness creature. 2 tough, well, close enough. 1 toughness works too. Light up the Skycrier. Well, if we hit a green source, we did the thing. We have all 5 colors. We get to crack the briefcase for the draw 3. The Broker's Initiate. I need a beefy creature in my grave for the Corpse Explosion. Here's an Evelyn. I need to draw any land now, and Evelyn puts in work. This game's looking exciting. Our opponent is on a slow start, and that is exactly how we need things to be. Because then, just by virtue of us running a ton of stupid 5 and 6 mana cards, instead of early plays, we should naturally be able to play more impactful cards and get ahead in the late game. As long as we don't just get steamrolled in the early game. This deck does have the chance to do things. Well, this is going to be a super efficient out of the way, but it doesn't really matter. I'm not doing anything else with the other 2 mana right now. Okay. I don't want to whack a Broker's Initiate. Because they're just going to recast the muscle and then we whack that. Okay. I guess they could tap out to deal 5. That's the Evelyn mana. Let's go. It's also the murder mana. So how does this work? Once during each name of a card with exile the collection counter on it. So I can only cast the card as long as Evelyn's on the board, so I'll want to cast whenever I steal the turn after I cast Evelyn. Inspiring Overseer, the set's mythic common. Celestial Regulator. Corpse Explosion is getting very strong. As long as we can get a creature engraved to do it. $22 life. I don't think I need to whack here. Tempted to just main phase Evelyn to play around any counters out of their blue. Because there is Disdainful Stroke in the set. Okay. I forgot she can play lands. I should have Evelyn before I did anything else, because then I could have played this forest as land for turn. That's going to be rough if they have the removal for Evelyn here. I'm going to whack here. Take 7. Okay, maximize Evelyn value by playing the green source. I was going to say the green source and the Glittermonger, but I can only do 1 per turn. I'm a fool. Here's Masked Bandits. And then this ending up in our grave gives us the fantastic Corpse Explosion. The 5 damage to everybody Corpse Explosion. Evelyn does not have Vigilance, but I am not going to block with Evelyn until I cast their Glittermonger. Snap Trade with a Corpse Explosion engrave. Although at this rate, I'm just going to use 1 for 1 removal on the Overseer. Yeah. Can Glittermonger murder this turn? kill Sean and Evelyn. This is why we pre-combat the Glittermonger. Alright, well, we're ahead. We have a backup board wipe. I can rogues... Oh, no. Can rogues gallery back an Evelyn and some stuff, but then they played one of the biggest bombs in the format. Big flyer that makes a 1/1 draws a card and comes with a shield counter. So it doesn't even die. That lets me stun it for a turn. I only have 2 creatures in graves, so Rogue's Gallery isn't even great right now. Let's just get the briefcase down. I can Corpse Explosion, but that's only going to remove the shield counter. There's their own adjudicators. Alright. That is nothing. It's also not much. Trade adjudicators off, go to 9. I just need to find anything to just chip the shield counter off that thing, and then we're good. I've got to light them up. Sleep with the Fishes would just single-handedly do it. I don't need to get rid of the shield counter. Same with Limousine, but I don't have Limousine mana. So I need Sleep with the Fishes or light them up, really. I could hit removal out of their deck if we Rogue's Gallery back Evelyn, so at this point that might be necessary. Oh, I guess I do have Limousine mana. I've got their Glittermonger, plus I can Rogue's Gallery back Adjudicators. So Limousine's an out too. Five mana up after this. They have main deck artifact or enchantment removal. It's gonna be rough. "13 cards left. I have to get a little worried about milling out if I play this too slowly. So I might just Rogue's Gallery right now. That way I'm just jamming next turn. Mythic Common strikes again. Don't really want to crew Limousine because then it can die to creature removal. So I'm just going to let it sit here. Thank goodness that doesn't destroy an artifact. It only destroy target enchantment. That is lucky. Our board's probably spooky enough to wipe now, because we don't have any more flyers. Oh, I do need to put a creature in my grave to wipe, though. Maybe I should have left one creature in grave just for board wipes. But I could big score. I really need to outrace myself, Mill, but I can absolutely big score for the explosion. Especially if I can discard a 3-power creature, that'd be perfect, but I don't think that's going to be a thing. Okay, Maestro's Theater will fail to find if I play it, so we play the Plains. Yeah, no, I can only get a 4 or a 5, so we get a 4 into grave, we kill Glittermonger and our Girder Goons and their whole board. I think stopping me from dying with Adjudicators is going to be more important than getting unblockable, because we're going to have Vigilant Menace threats. Jetmir can actually do something this game, which is hilarious. Yeah, my board's going to all have Vigilance. They've got enough creatures. It'll be a very chill, very quiet draft today because there's a lot. It's gonna be like we just get steamrolled early, or I have to sit here and do really long games like this where I go through almost the whole deck. But there we go. Just sit here long enough, have your opponent flood out, play a bunch of big idiots. You can do jet mirror kills with this. All right. Huge work from Evelyn there. I think we still would have been potentially losing without Evelyn drawing us like 4 cards throughout that game. Their Glittermonger to get the treasure tokens was also huge. Pretty fun way to start things off. We actually got a win with 5-color soup. We'll see if we can keep it rolling as we head into game 2. All right, here we go again. Let's be big idiots again. This is definitely grabbing a forest because we have 2 tramway stations for black-red. And then Courtyard's likely grabbing a white towards Limousine. I also have perfect Riveteer's mana off the Bandits too. So we really need the white off of this. They are playing a white deck, so that's very good for me. Here's the blue. And that means Wax is going to be super cheap. Inspiring Overseer, though. The Mythic Common. Better than every common and almost every uncommon and almost every rare in the format. Well, there you go. Second white. I'm not going to whack How? We are weak to flyers. I could whack it. Really don't want to. Just gotta do what you gotta do. We took so much damage from flyers last game. Just getting rid of a 2 power flyers, fine. We've only got 1 board wipe in the deck. We don't know when we're gonna find it. 26 cards left. Doubly Striker. Get inside the limousine, please. Another Brokers deck. Brokers is the most broken archetype. Blue, white, and green just have all the best cards, particularly white at the core. So white centered around its 2 allied colors, blue and green. That's what makes Brokers so good. It's got a lot of just the best 3-color cards too, like the Disciplined Duelist. Along with the best commons, like Inspiring Overseer. Kind of surprising I don't have Unleash the Inferno up here. Well, that's fine, it can wait. We can take 3, go back to 21. Civil Servant. The big score. I don't mind just running out bandits. If it ends up in our grave, that's some fuel for Rogue's Gallery. We already have the 5-color at the ready. Ooh, non-land permanent, you say? Uh-oh. Duelist is back. And Regulator with a counter on board for the stun. Yep. Brokers being broken. Civil Servant and Celestial Regulator also. The best of the 2 color commons. Guess we're dead. Even if I hit the board wipe, I don't have creatures in grave here. Can I take 9 on the crackback right now? I guess I should have big scored. I could have big scored and then spent the treasure on Limousine if we top decked a land. Unless I played a land this turn, I don't remember. I don't think I did. That's the extra 2 damage to kill me. So GG, 1-1. Nas brokers for you. Okay. I don't know what game this is. Game 3, we're 1-1, right? 5 color has melted the brain. Let's just do some nonsense and see if it's enough. I don't know how good our matchup is against blue. It's probably not great. Probably not great. I think I need to get red mana off this because I can get green off adjudicators. We have a dig up the body in here? I don't remember that, but I'll take it. Opponent is snooping around. We need to put the adjudicators on any land except the islands that I have double blue for Sleep with the Fishes if I need it. Metropolis Angel. Yeah, we would like to get to a board wipe ASAP. I guess if I adjudicators onto the island, then I can unleash the Inferno next turn. And kill this Angel, because it's going to keep drawing them a card every turn, because they have the Connive into Angel combo. This is a rock and a hard place. This sucks. Because if I Sleep with the Fishes, the Angel, they're just going to keep drawing cards anyway, so I kind of need to unleash it, which means not having the double blue for Sleep off of the adjudicators. Yeah, this is a bummer. I guess I could have just cast Dig Up the Body and really hoped I milled a creature out of 2 cards. One was an Overlook, so we had 1 chance. But if that was a creature, then I could have dug up the body, chose not to pick anything up, and then just Corpse Explosion. Oh god, no. Nimble Arsonist is incredible. God, yeah, this thing's busted. Because you're so used to the ones that like hit the board, they exile a card from your opponent's hand until they die, but this is just, you just exile it forever. I'm never getting my board wipe back. Yeah, this format had some thick cards. Yeah, and now just, they're free to make the super wide board state because I don't have a board wipe anymore, and we are going to get crushed by all the little creatures. At least I get to adjudicate here. Still have the full 5 color. It's a nice roadblock until our opponent murders the adjudicators. Scry 2, draw 2, lose 2. You just do it right in the main phase. Looking for their land for turn, probably. Alright, my go. Pop the flyer. Start jamming. Adjudicators wins the race on board. Free value. We see a chump from opponent. Officially up a card with adjudicators. Looping Newsy. And it's got the lifelink. Probably need to sleep that. So I can still win the race. Get another chump out of our opponent. Fish tokens are absolutely adorable. They're our little bubbles. Why are they unblockable, though? Oh my god. Double Larcenist deck? Double Larcenist. This is gonna go away anyway, so I might as well coin flip it. I don't think I sack a fish towards this. Well, I'm at 18. Fish isn't going to be great. We have some really good creatures we could hit off of this. I am going to sack the fish on this. Oh my god, let's go. Main phase this while they're more tapped out. Unfortunately, 2 4-drops are hit off of Evelyn. I was really hoping to hit a land, play a land there. But as long as they don't exile Evelyn, we've got the Rogues Gallery now to do it all again. And the really sick part is that, like, they all have the counters on them, so if they kill Evelyn, but then I bring her back and recast her, I can also cast these 2 first cards that we exiled later. I'm not restricted to the newest cards that Evelyn exiled or anything. Security bypass. So they get to connive every time the Larcenist attacks now. They can draw a card, discard a card. Oh, when it deals combat damage to a player, connives. Okay. And if they keep discarding spells, they keep buffing up the Larcenist. And hitting harder and harder and harder over time. Probably just going to cast their Quasar against them then. Dang. I drew land 8. I could do both these, which would have been awesome. Quasar does seem really good against them. But out of the way can just kill their security bypass, which is also nice. And I could, like, out of the way their security bypass and then top deck the Quasar land. Possible. It's not likely, but possible. Wait. If I do the out of the way, they get to recast Larcenist and get rid of Rogue's Gallery. So I guess we wait on that. We will start with the Quasar. Oh, Quasar's the reverse. Quasar isn't Underworld Dreams. Quasar's whenever we draw a card. Okay. I don't know if our opponent realized that either. Because responding with the Snoop slightly implies they think that they might take a damage for drawing there. But it could just be because we're more tapped out. Double Obscura Charm, double Arsonist. Absolutely loaded on the uncommon front. Well, now I can definitely out of the way the first Larcenist. Hello there, Jetmir. Exotic pets. Okay. Dang. Tap land, no Jetmir this turn. They could kill Quasar. They could kill anybody if they block them with everyone. But then all the other damage gets through. Chump chump bounce. Looks good to me. Nimble Arsonist, say hello to Jetmir. Do I have a mountain, forest, or plains left in the deck? At this point, I do. I've got a forest. They're super done on board. And Evelyn Jetmir Wombo combo dream team strikes again. We are 2-1 somehow, heading to game 4. All right, here we are on the play for game 4. This could be a banger. We have all colors, thanks to adjudicators. The full 5. Got the Evelyn, obviously our biggest rare, biggest bomb, and the corpse explosion. Love to see that. Adjudicators onto the swamp here. Guess I ditch a light 'em up because I have a corpse explosion. I can't ditch a land. Guess the one awkward part about adjudicating that way is I wouldn't be able to cast Evelyn. Doing it that way, because then I only have 2 Evelyn mana and then a green. But just play the tramway station, we can still do that. Oh my god, are you serious? Getaway car, corrupt court official, so they can make me discard a card every single turn off of that combo. That is obnoxious. Well, we unleash the Inferno. I think I have to ditch the land. See if they've got the instant speed removal for Evelyn here. Nope. That is fantastic. Well, their rogues gallery is pretty bad for us right now. It's only going to matter if we can keep Evelyn around basically forever. I do have my own rogues gallery I can draw into. This one isn't doing anything right now. I think I actually sack Evelyn because I'm not going to play any more vampires. The only thing Evelyn's doing by staying here is holding on to her rogues gallery that we can't do anything with. Really? Oh man. This shoots planeswalkers though.
My goons will make quick work of you. Your punishment is my entertainment.
I guess I have to explosion Evelyn away, sadly. I do not really see another option here against double Omnics.
Well now, you've gone and ruined all my fun.
Okay. One of these beefy creatures leads the board. And I've got two of them. Wow, that was a good draw. Empty-handed, blind top deck, draw 4. That is rough for us. I'm not going to play this land. I'm going to play around them top decking another Corrupt Court Officials because with them running the getaway card, they would have drafted as many as they could get to go with it. There is a true downside to not playing this land out, though, because it's a tap land. I can't just play it the turn I need it. But I think it's worth the risk here to play around another official to keep our whack. Oh my god, yep, that's some good draws off the draw 4. Removal spell, threat. I feel like they got me off that one. And crack back for 6. If I hold the crocodile up, block 1, take 6. Man, I feel like I have to whack and I really don't want to. I'll be at 3 life. Facing these 3. Yeah, I have to whack. It's a terrible sign. I'll take 1 more damage so they can't draw a bunch of cards here. Okay. That's a good draw. Oh my god, they're flooding so hard. Let's go. Move, get out the way. Go to 1. They can do 2 to me off of Forge Boss and then die on the crackback. Wow, some really, really bad draws for our opponent those last few turns. When we had just the big beef to win the game there. Really, really lucky round, and we are now, what, 3-1? 3-1. Now a 50-50 record out of this absolute pile. Worst case scenario, we take those. All right, we'll keep this because we've got... Yeah, we've got bandits for black mana. Sorry, I'm like doing so much math in my head here. I'm like, what are all these colors? What do I need right now? I think I actually need white mana. So we have a blue for an out the way. If we get white off both these, Limousine would work as a draw later. Bandits is our 1 green source. I guess if I want to have any hope of casting Unleash, though, I need to actually... Courtyard for green, though. Green or red. Yeah, so that I can cast Unleash and the Bandits. Let's get the green source here. Maestro Initiate from our opponents. And then, of course, I hit the Riveteer's Overlook, and I should have got a Plains in case of the thingamadude. I love that I can Rogue's Gallery for nothing. Just if I want to. Well, let's slow them down a little bit. Try to draw some better defenses here. Big score is not that. Just holding up Murder or Unleash. I'll Murder if they don't play an artifact or enchantment, and Unleash if they do. Adjudicators can slow this right down. There's the whack for 1 mana too, since it's a white creature. Demons do. Scry 2, draw 2. At least they're not playing more creatures this turn. We're at that point now we have to hit one of our bomb rares to still be in this game, I think. Evelyn or the board wipe. That is neither, but Big Score can dig towards both of them. I'm taking 7 on board. 2 life here. I have a huge way to be significantly higher in life total. I can just play 1 Girder Goons. Yeah, no. I think I Big Score. No, I can Goons still. Have the 2/2 blocker and draw another card towards one of the 2 cards that could actually win the game. The Evelyn or the board wipe. Alright, so I stopped as much damage as I can stop here, potentially. Just throwing a 2/2, trading off into the 3/1. Oh, it comes tapped. Never mind. Never mind. I should have known that, because theirs hit the board tapped. Guess I'm dead. Sure, Luxurious Libation means I was dead no matter what. Even if I played a blocker there and blocked one thing, they just Libation whatever gets through, because they could do the full X equals 5 at this point. Yeah. We were dead. Too slow, and that is what I thought every game was going to be like with this deck. But it's not the case. We have at least 3 wins. We are 3-2 now, heading into game 6. All right, here we are on the play for what could be the final game of Magic. If we lose this one, we're out. The hand looks good. It's very slow, but strong. We have the Evelyn here. Big score is not bad. Gala Greeters. Oh, I should have played the planes because then I put bandits on the planes. Yeah, that would have been the best mana-wise way to do things here. Forgot the fancy bandits play. I kind of just honestly completely forgot I had masked bandits to put into exile in this hand. Alright, Gala Greeters is ramping them up here. Do I have to whack the Greeters? I've got Evelyn, I got Limousine. We just let Greeters trigger one more time. And then try to, like, Evelyn surprise it. Cast this Limousine off of the treasure tokens that Big Score makes, so I'm going to discard the planes. Celebrity Fencer, alright. Let's draw the board wipe, shall we? No, but those are not bad. This is the most aggressive start from an opponent yet, though, because all the Gala Greeters treasure just flooding the board so fast. Wax is sorcery, so I gotta just do it right now. Then we're gonna Evelyn on blocks, hope she survives, and cast whatever she hits on our next turn. It's a counter on Social Climber and Gala Greeters, and it puts them both out of reach of Evelyn. Oh, unless they do that. And I do get to Evelyn the Social Climber if they don't have a combat trick along with all this stuff. If they do, I think this game was just pretty unwinnable. If they could curve out like that plus the combat trick support. Okay, cool. They don't have the combat trick support, so Evelyn gets us a little more stable. There's Unleash the Inferno. I can kill the Greeters or the Initiate and their treasure token. If I Unleash, I have 2 mana up. 3 if I play their planes, which is still not enough to do anything. So I guess I just Unleash and play a tap land pass. Also Limousine and save the Unleash. If I Unleash, I don't have to use a treasure. Yeah, let's just Unleash. Unleash, tap land, pass. Oh, Outlaw's a vampire. I do have a vampire in this deck. I have 1 vampire in this deck. That is really important to keep in mind. Maybe just plain Outlaw was better than... Well, I'm glad I have the Limousine, because unblockable Gala Greeters that connives every time it hits me. Gonna get scary big. Every time they play a creature, it gets a counter. Every time it hits me, it maybe gets a counter. It can't be blocked at all. Oh my god, the patch up as well for Graveyard Recursion. Oh, total mana value 3 or less. Okay, so it's actually not that good, though. It's basically just another Social Climber here. Ooh, they didn't attack alone, so I can just take 1 this turn. Or I can kill the backup agent, then exile Gala Greeters. I don't love going this low, but clearing out more creatures is valuable. Okay. Hop on in, Greeters. Okay, Celebrity Fencers is fine. We're fine. Do the thing, Outlaw. Land Overseer. Ooh. Wait, Rogue's Gallery sucks right now. Alright. Put it on bottom. Oh, right. If I play their land, I can't play Overseer this turn. Well, couldn't have played Overseer this turn either way then, because I didn't have the 3 untapped without playing an untapped land this turn. They draw 2 a turn now, but this thing costs 5 mana. If they have 9 or more cards in hand, they can hide away. Okay, so this is just they draw 2 a turn. That's fine. Might even help us. They might mill out. Well, no, they have 20 cards left. There's a long way to go. Okay. Overseer Jetmir. And start jamming with the Vigilant team. Let's go. And I can also make them all trample by crewing the Limousine. Down to 13. Here's their 2 draws. They might just be dead next turn. Briefcase for a 1/1, which does trigger both of the Alliance cards for a +1/+1 counter and some life gain. But their final card in hand. Broken Wings on the Limousine. All right, that matters a lot. Good draws from opponent. 2 relevant spells. Some double triggers on their Alliance cards. Man. All right. Can I do this and hold up murder? Oh yeah. Triple Tramway Station and murder mana. Murder up to ruin their blocks and maybe even just get lethal here, thanks to the trample. 4 toughness is the highest toughness blocker, so I'm just going to murder the fencer and we'll just see how much damage it is, but it's probably lethal. Murder, just an A+ draw. Yeah, it is well over lethal. Jetmir does it again, and Evelyn. I don't think we've won a game without Evelyn. I think we've won one without Jetmir, but I could be wrong. Maybe we just keep drawing Evelyn Jetmir. That is 4 and 2 now. So no matter what happens from here, we won more games than we lost with this 5-color mush pile. Feels good. We might have to mulligan this one. I have every color except white, thanks to Overlook and Outlaw. But I only have 2 lands. I have a Rogue's Gallery that doesn't do anything until super late. Dig Up the Body doesn't really do anything until super late. I think I'm going to take the mulligan on this one. This looks better, but still like the pile of an absolutely insane man, which is what it is. Should have lost it during the draft. Rid of one of the fixers. Green off of this one, black off the Overlook. I have the big score if I draw into the Limousine. The treasure tokens will work for that. Excuse me. Squeaky chair has things to say. But Outlaw's giving us the red source now. How many throngs did they get in their draft pod? Oh no, they drafted 4 throngs. I have said this before, but this really feels like board wiper bust. 3 more 3/1s at the bare minimum. That's if none of these other cards are creatures. Yeah, we're in trouble. We're in deep trouble. Oh god, another one's a creature. It's a 1-drop creature. Luckily, that one doesn't really matter. It costs 5 mana to actually do any damage with it, so they're just going to keep spending that mana. Casting the other throngs. Well, need to draw into the board wipe, so I'm going to go for untapped mana into big score, discard tramway station, because I could do dig up the body self-mill to get something engraved for the board wipe. 7, 8. Oh, they just have lethal on board already. We're just dead. Yep, that'll do it. All right. Well, I could have done light 'em up on a Throng then, and then they'd have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage on board. They play a Throng, and it's 11 damage because the enter the battlefield trigger on the Socialite. So we could have instead used light 'em up and went to 1. I guess because of the treasures from Big Score, yeah, I guess the play was to main phase Big Score, discard draw 2, light 'em up, so that we're not just dead on board. But we still lose that game no matter what at that point. Because then if I have to... I guess if it was Big Sword to light 'em up, I discard Goons, so that if I draw the removal, or the board wipe, I can Goons away all that stuff. But then... they could still just hit me for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess they don't get the Alliance trigger, so I lied. They don't hit for 11, because they can't buff the Initiate and play another creature. So if I killed a Throng, they probably would have buffed the Initiate and just hit for 10. I'd be at 2 life, then I board wipe them. But after the board wipe, they have at least 2 more 3/1s to play, and whatever these cards are. I think there's basically no shot we would have ever won that. But I did miss that they had on board lethal, so that is embarrassing. But this deck's record is not. I think this deck is pretty bad. As I said before, I highly do not recommend ever drafting 5-color in the format because there are good curve outs and aggressive decks and stuff like you saw in that last game of Magic there. And this is a real slow build because you always have to spend your early turns exiling these kind of cards onto your lands to make sure you have the mana that you need, or casting cheap removal and stuff. And you just don't get a board state early, so you can get really overwhelmed by more aggressive decks. If we had like multiple board wipes, if we managed to get multiple rare board wipes, that would go a long way, but still pretty happy with the deck. I mean, it went 4-3. That is a pretty great record for what was just kind of a goofy decision during the draft, so I'll absolutely take it. We did the 5-color soup thing. We got all our money back pretty much. Don't mind that at all. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in a recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.